Living Waters presents On the Box.
Good afternoon, Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Tuesday edition of On the Box. We were flying to get things started on time. If you were with us on yesterday's show, and I hope you were, or if you've since seen it on YouTube, you saw an incident.
A tragedy. An American tragedy.
Well, actually, it was more of a tragedy than we thought at the time.
Yeah.
We thought it was really funny what happened to Danny.
Well, it was funny.
Well, no, it was.
Okay.
There's no denying it. I mean, sometimes another person's anguish is a source of great humor.
Right, but he's okay. So we wanted.
Well,
to,
he is okay.
Yeah, we wanted to give Danny a chance to say
So we want
hi.
you to see that Danny is okay. He's fit as a fiddle.
Yes. So bunker cam.
He's doing well.
Okay.
We've got Daniel back there monitoring vitals.
He's fine.
He should be okay.
Okay.
Fortunately, he's
Perfect.
right-handed.
Yes.
And he operates the TriCaster well with his right hand.
So the show will go on.
The show will go on.
Yes.
If you were at all concerned about Danny's health, you can email us at onthebox@livingwaters.com. If you weren't concerned at all about Danny's health, you can email us at onthebox@livingwaters.com.
Yes.
Yes.
Send him some flowers or some nice
Well,
things.
no. Yeah, I think he's allergic to flowers.
Chocolate.
Chocolate? Yes.
Okay.
Because if he's allergic to chocolate, there will be others here to help him with that.
Yes.
Many.
Yes.
So what are you doing today?
I'm wearing my 180 show.
I know,
shirt.
but that's not the segment.
Okay.
Yet. So
I'm
what else are you doing today?
I'm doing nothing in
No.
that case.
You're doing more than wearing a shirt.
I'm editing the Vienna episode of The Way of the Master.
And is Vienna 12 of 13?
Yes.
Yeah.
No,
11 of 13.
Yes.
11 of 13.
Yes.
It's a blur.
Yes, it
Isn't it?
is.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we're about to release, or we did release the Prague episode.
We did.
Is that correct? Fact checker back there?
Dr.
Prague.
Daniel?
The Prague episode DVD is in the bookstore.
It's in the bookstore.
Before the promo. The promo comes out very soon, but the bookstore is there now. You can get it now.
The bookstore's there now.
Yes.
The
and
DVD's in the
it.
bookstore
Of course,
there now.
yes.
Yeah.
Details.
And that is the one that features the impeccable acting skills of one Greg L. Sasser.
Yes. If any of you remember a term we like to call crocoduck, you'll be interested in this episode.
You'll love the crocodile.
Prague episode. So that's it.
Now, Mark, you, of course, were out there that day for the filming of the great crocoduck
That
incident.
fateful day.
That fateful day. What did you take away from that day?
I wasn't there that day.
Yeah, I
Was not there.
I was going to
I was away.
Trying to think of
mention that.
Well, why didn't you?
I wasn't there. I'm sorry.
I like when stuff like that happens.
Cut back over to them.
So,
There it is.
No, actually, I want to
Anyway.
go back over to you because I want to know what you're doing today.
Oh.
You were working hard.
Every
You missed the-
Tuesday,
you
Tuesdays
missed
are
the
very
staff
busy.
meeting.
Yeah, I missed the staff meeting because
tisk.
I failed to look at the clock. That's the only reason why I missed. But it was very beneficial because I have two videos that I edit every Tuesday. The Living Waters University clip and the Behind the Scenes clip. So the Behind the Scenes clip, which we will show next Monday, deals with a professional NASCAR driver. He came to visit us last week or the week before, which was really neat. And then the Living Waters University clip, which is also due today, I'm working on, and I'm rendering it and compressing it as we speak. And I'm working on another video that has to be well on its way when Ray gets back from Massachusetts later on in the day.
Really?
Dealing with the 180 baby that was saved. So.
Well, you're a lot. You need to verbalize a little more today.
You know, seeing Danny just
You okay?
took me back to that place
All right, well,
yesterday.
while you're gathering yourself
Yes, okay.
and contemplating what you're going to say about your shirt.
You know, I watched that video, and you couldn't stop laughing. It was a great moment in
I
television internet history.
I watched it 10 times.
It was good. My family watched it. It brought our family together last
it?
night. It was good.
It was a bonding moment.
So it was really good.
And now Danny's put back together with Bondo.
Yes.
So,
Hey, that's a good one.
ba-dum-bum-sh. All right, hey, we got an important announcement today. Many of you viewers of our program also visit our blogs. Ray's blog, Ray Comfort Food. Is that what it is? RayComfortFood.blogspot.com?
Sure.
Daniel? Comfort Food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Comfort Food.
If you just type Ray Comfort and blog, it's going to be the #1 hit. But it used to be Atheist Central, and now it's back to Comfort Food, right?
Yes.
Because he's writing more comforting things.
Because his name's Comfort.
Because his name's Comfort, and he's not. He's gotten bored with some of the atheists.
Yes.
Out there, and so he's moved on to other things. But anyways, on his blog, on the On the Box blog, onthebox.us, on my blog, and the Cripplegate blog, thecripplegate.com, all one word, thecripplegate.com, is Ray's official response and the ministry's official response to Pastor Jesse Johnson's Shepherd's Conference session titled The Ways of the Master, in which he critiqued our ministry and the use of the law in evangelism. And in our staff meeting today, we were all just sharing how very proud we were of Ray and the detail and the depth of which he made that response. And
it was a very deep response. It was a little, it went beyond, have you ever told a lie?
Way beyond.
Way beyond that. So it was good. One thing I really appreciated about Ray's response, and this, when did that Shepherd's Conference happen?
First week of March.
So it was a while ago.
Yeah.
You know,
a little over a month ago.
And so the natural response when you get criticized for something is to just, you know, come back right away and in the midst of, you know, if there's any emotion involved. I mean, let's face it, nobody likes to get criticized for the stuff you do. And so when Ray received that criticism, I think he went about it very biblically. In James 1:9, we're told to be swift to hear, slow to speak, and slow to wrath. And Ray was very slow to speak. You know, I think a month, that could be in the slow to speak category. And so he just took his time and, you know, just listened to the message a bunch of times. I imagine, I don't know what he did, but I would think so, based on his response. And you know, with all that time, he was able to give a very thorough, detailed response, and I think he did a great job.
And he allowed those of us in leadership in the ministry and some people very close to the ministry also review the document before it went out, you know, to make sure that the I's were dotted and the T's were crossed.
Spell checkers.
Yeah, and that's an act of humility too, to take something that you're passionate about, something you're going to write, and say, hey, would you guys look this over for me before we post it? So we've gotten a lot of great response already to it. People are very thankful that Ray has come out with a clear response to Jesse Johnson's critique.
Right.
There were a lot of Christians out there who were discouraged, disheartened by Jesse Johnson's message and questioning whether or not they should continue to use the law in evangelism.
And not necessarily that it's just you know, an issue of Jesse.
Not at all.
What he addresses is stuff that, you know,
we've heard before.
Just questions about why would you use the 10 Commandments and stuff like that. So it's a great, you know, it's a great blog post.
Yeah. Mark, any thoughts on that before we move on?
You know, just like anything, any response that you're going to put up, it's going to get critiqued. You didn't do it well enough, you weren't gracious enough, or you were too gracious. It's beyond funny, the criticism that comes in. There's so many armchair quarterbacks that want to throw in their 2 cents. Not that that's necessarily wrong, but you notice that there's a beginning of a judgment of the motive of Ray. That Ray feels that his ministry is going to go down if he didn't respond, or he's only trying to save his own teeth. It's just silly. But this is our response. Did it cover everything that there is to cover? You know, absolutely not. It's an endless debate, so it seems. But I like what John MacArthur said on a couple of videos on YouTube, that the law must precede the preaching of grace and mercy before you can get on into the beauty of the cross. So I'd be curious to see what John MacArthur's response is to both Ray's letter and Jesse's message. I don't know if it's out there.
I don't necessarily think he's probably watching On the Box right now.
You don't think so?
No. Well, it could happen.
He's probably writing his next sermon.
That's true. Well,
like a responsible pastor would do.
That's right. That's right. Midday on a Tuesday, he's probably working on his sermon, which he's done for 40-plus years. Amazing. But yeah, it would be great. It would be great to hear his response to it. But anyways, so it's out there. Ray has said what he feels he had to say, and we are in agreement with Ray. And now it's time to move on.
Let's move on.
All right, tomorrow is 180 Day.
Ouch.
Why are you wearing that shirt, Eddie?
Because it was free for me, because I work here. No,
Whoa,
because...
wait a minute.
Just
Daniel's
kidding.
been charging me.
Well, you know, me and Daniel, you know, we're friends.
Apparently.
Yes. So, anyway. It's 180 Day.
Tomorrow.
NOTW, not of this world.
Tomorrow.
Very famous brand in the Christian circles.
Yeah.
You know, those Christian
And
circles.
they designed that shirt?
Yes. And I'm wearing it. And that's all you need to know.
You are so
But I'm
alive.
wearing it tomorrow, and in preparation for that, I'm wearing it today.
All right.
Are you going to wash it before you wear it again?
Nah. Maybe. I'll just wear another brand new one that Daniel gives me for free.
All right, so we got this email regarding 180 just the other day. Hi, I just watched your documentary 180 that I got as a free handout on the University of Georgia campus. Way to go, team at the University of Georgia!
Bulldogs.
Bulldogs. Oh, wow. Being a journalism major, I have been required to watch heaps of documentaries. However, this one, yours, was voluntary and by far had the most impact. I am a Christian, and I have always been pro-choice. Recently, I researched why. I wanted an answer besides I'd grown up thinking this way. Your documentary has prompted me to share with my friends, a lot of whom don't care about Jesus or about life. Thank you so much for the encouragement and the intelligent way you push people. I like that. The intelligent way you push people to think from another perspective.
A smart shove.
A smart shove.
Intelligently
A shove and
pushing.
love.
Yes, that's good. I like that.
All right, so go to heartchanger.com. Heartchanger.com. Click on the link at the top of the page that says 180 Day, and there you will find all kinds of ways that you can participate. Big ways and small ways, but all of them important ways. 180 Day is the second Wednesday of every month, and tomorrow is the second Wednesday of this month. Speaking of the second Wednesday of each month,
Yes.
we have Tim Hazelbacker
Yes.
from Murrieta, California.
Yes.
He's attending Murrieta Bible College,
Yes.
and he crashed the green room at Deeper.
He did.
He did, with permission.
Oh, that's good.
But he just recounted to me a story before the show where he walked in the room and he was immediately greeted by someone referred to as the lawman. Who are you and why are you here? I'm sure I shook his hand.
And he told you that today?
He told me that today.
I wouldn't have
And he
told
came
you that.
back. Why? It's a good story.
Okay.
All right. Okay. All right. Shall we chalk talk today, gentlemen?
Wait, can we go back to
Sure. Where
the
do you wanna go?
University of Georgia?
Yeah, let's go back there now.
I just wanted to make a quick comment.
Please.
The one thing that stands out to me for the University of Georgia is the head coach of their football team. His name's Mark Wright. He was featured inside of Facing the Giants.
That's right.
He's a very outspoken Christian, loves the Lord, and he's got a lot of respect that's geared over his way because of the way he coaches, just with excellence, and a lot of respect from the teammates. So we give a good shout out to him. I love it. Whenever they're on television out here in sunny Southern California, I'll always tend to watch it because of him, because he's such an outspoken Christian. And there's not a lot of outspoken Christians. There might be a lot of Christians inside the sports industry, but not as outspoken as some should be. I know that Tim Tebow got a big shout out this past year because he was because he did his whole Tebow thing. But there's a lot of Christians. You go to any NFL football game, right after the game, you have the players from both teams come together on the 50-yard line. They will gather around, hold hands, put their arms around each other, and they'll pray. Christianity inside major sports is huge. But Tebow is just very outspoken, so all eyes seem to be on him. Well, Mark Wright is one and the same. He's just like that. He's outspoken. He loves the Lord. He loves his players. He loves his family. And he has a walk that seems to be very integrous. So shout out to you. Good on you, mate.
Which is in stark contrast to the Razorbacks coach at the moment. If you're following that story, you're probably not.
Arkansas,
yeah. Wasn't it the Arkansas Razorbacks whose coach recently dumped his bike?
Yes.
And had a passenger on it?
Illicit,
well,
scandalous thing on the back?
We don't know how illicit or scandalous yet. They're not saying.
Well, it was on the internet, so it must be true.
On theboxoflivingwaters.com, on theboxoflivingwaters.com.
Okay.
If you're a Razorback fan, we'd love to hear from you. If you are a Bulldog fan, we'd love to hear from you. If you're a Nittany Lion fan, we'd love to hear from you. If you're a Trojan fan, we'd love to hear from you. If you're a Bruin fan, you could write us too.
So Rick Santorum just bailed out of the campaign, it looks like. Yep.
You know what? I don't know
I'm
if
not supporting or not supporting. I'm just making the comment.
That's right. Because here at Living Waters, the grown-up upstairs heart just skipped a beat as we mentioned the presidential candidate. Mm-hmm. But we are not endorsing nor unendorsing nor de-dorsing
anybody. Anywho, yes. Rick Santorum is out. He's out playing golf today.
Who are you voting for?
I'm not voting for anybody at present.
Okay.
My vote's going to be a no vote. Can't trust any of them. Nope. On the box at livingwaters.com. On the box at livingwaters.com.
Brad's voting for Obama again, I think.
And don't on the box at livingwaters.com with that one. We will be posting Brad's personal email address in a little bit. Can we chalk talk?
Brad's not even on the show, and he's on the show.
He's
That's
watching the
awesome.
show
Okay,
right now.
let's chalk talk.
Yes, okay. Enjoying his lunch. Eating. All right.
He just spit it up after that.
Everybody goes to heaven, apparently, according to a person Ray recently talked to.
Okay.
And so what we're going to do in the limited time we have remaining, have we answered a question yet today? No, but we've, you know what?
Question?
There's no fluff.
Okay.
We filled the show with lots of good stuff.
Okay.
You want to?
Sure.
Continue?
Yes.
All right, we're going to chalk talk a video. We're going to get through as much as we can. And we will holler stop to Danny. Daniel will be there to check his pulse as we're doing that to make sure that there's no further injury to the
Oh, that's right.
the master of the TriCaster.
Yes.
All right, let's go.
What's the most precious possession you have materially?
Materially, I would say it would be a pair of my Jordans.
Stop!
Did you know if you Google Air Jordan theft, you will get all kinds of articles about people who are stealing Air Jordans and even killing each other over them? Go ahead.
No,
What?
there's a spiritual component to what he said, though, as well, right?
Sure.
Not just the crime rate.
He's materialistic.
He's very materialistic. The most important thing in
Likes
his
the
life
materials of his shoes.
are his tennis shoes.
Yeah.
Material issues.
What gods are you worshiping? Right?
Yes.
I mean, anything we put before God at that moment is our God.
Right.
Anything we say at this moment, what I'm doing, what I'm holding, what I'm possessing, who I'm with, if at that moment you're saying this person is more, or this thing is more important than God, then at that moment you are worshiping an idol.
You know,
Whether it's Air Jordans or a really good apple pie.
or Pumas
Or Pumas.
or whatever it is.
Does anybody wear Pumas anymore?
You know, some people in doing their witnessing, they just kind of, you know, they would call this the small talk section, to where they're just like, you know, bringing up the weather, anything they could talk about, till they could get to the, you know, important part, which is the gospel. But the truth is, you know, when Ray's talking to this guy right here, it's important that Ray's learning about what this guy's all about. And so just like what you said, he's picking up on, you know, this guy's into his shoes, is just materialistic or whatever, and that is going to come in handy. I mean, I haven't seen the whole chalk talking thing with video. What is this we're watching? Well, I haven't seen it all yet, but basically,
We
you know,
prepped
in that
for hours
in that
for this program.
in that gathering of information, Ray already knows something about this guy's spiritual condition based on the, you know, few seconds he's been talking to him. So, roll on.
My Jordans.
Oh, your Jordans?
Materialistically, yeah.
More important than your cell phone?
Yeah, honestly.
You have a car?
Yeah, I have a car.
So this is an 8.5
More
minute
important
clip.
than your car.
We have
those
8.
shoes.
I can say that, yes. My car, I love my car, but the shoes is my shoes, and that's what I do.
Okay, now what about physically? Are your eyes precious to you?
Yeah.
You wouldn't like to lose them and go blind?
No, I would not.
I just want to
What
make
about
that
your life? Do you value
comment.
your life?
Oh, yes.
I'm just saying
What's
that.
going to happen to you after you
8.5 minutes
die?
left.
Well, hopefully my soul goes to the afterlife in heaven.
So
I'm
everyone
just making
goes
the
to heaven?
comment, so.
Hopefully, but I don't think that
What's the
way,
problem?
logically.
I don't get
Where
it.
are you going? I mean, are you confident you go to heaven? Are you a good guy? Are you a good person?
I try to maintain and try to be one, but, you know, we all lose sight along the way.
What sort of thing you're talking about?
We all sin, you know, I'm not,
What sort of sins?
you know, lying, lust.
So you're in big trouble then on Judgment Day.
I mean, hopefully I clean my soul the day, you know,
So how do you clean your soul?
you ask for forgiveness and repent.
That's all you have to do.
All you have to do.
Anyone just says, God, I'm sorry, and they're forgiven. So it doesn't matter whether you're Muslim, whether you're Hindu, whether you're Buddhist, you just look up and say, God, forgive me, I'm sorry.
If you follow in this path, if you don't, and then all of a sudden when you do, you know, you can't live a life of sin, then hope that the day that you do it, you feel me, like,
Okay, let's see if we can squeeze this up a little. There's a knife in my back, someone stabbed me, I've got 3 minutes to live. Okay, Kevin, how do I enter heaven? Tell me
Stop.
what to do, please. I'm dying.
Pause.
Yeah. And in fact, we're going to pause permanently with this because this is very important. Then we got to move on to a couple of questions, and maybe we'll finish the Chalk Talk on another episode.
Okay.
Because we're rolling right along.
Yes.
Why did we stop?
Well, you said it was important, so you should probably know.
But you said stop. So I want to give you first shot.
Okay, so Ray's bringing up the 3 minutes to live scenario. And so basically, as Ray's talking to this guy's saying, all you got to do is believe. Then he's saying, no, it's more to it than that. And so basically, Ray's not quickly getting a very definite read on where this guy is spiritually. And so when you're in that situation where you're talking to someone where they kind of sound like a Christian, but they kind of don't at the same time, a really easy way to just discover what a person really believes in a really, right to the point manner is just to give them the 3 minutes to live scenario. And that's basically asking a person, if I had 3 minutes to live, I had a knife in my back, and I came to you and said, how do I get to heaven? What would you tell me? And in a very short amount of time, you're going to know what they believe concerning the afterlife.
Yeah, very, very true. In fact, if you're out on the streets and you're witnessing to strangers, you try to hand someone a tract and say, oh, no, I'm a Christian. You shouldn't just let that go. Because I would say the majority of people, especially in our country, who say they are Christians are not Christians. And that 3 minutes to live scenario is a great way to bring that out. They're going to revert back to what they know. You're applying a little bit of pressure to them. So they're going to revert back to what they know. They're going to parrot whatever they've heard over the years.
A gentle push.
A gentle push, and more often than not, it's not the gospel. And so it gives you an opportunity to reverse roles with them. They're the one with the knife in the back.
Right.
You can share with them the gospel in 2 or 3 minutes and then discuss it further. Have you employed that before, Mark?
Oh, absolutely. You know what I absolutely love, though, about Ray is that he just cuts the chase. We've learned our whole lives to get into an apologetical sword fight with whatever question comes our way from the skeptic. Well, Ray just kind of goes beyond that. They'll ask a question. He kind of steps to the side. He's not afraid of the questions, but he just realizes they're not interested in the answers by and large. Now, sometimes there's legitimate questions that are asked that you need to answer. But more times than not, Ray sees right through that because he's done so much of it, gets right to the core. So people say, I noticed that all your witnessing encounters are right between 5 and 9 minutes long. I get into a witnessing encounter and it's 60+ minutes long. Why is yours so short? It's because Ray doesn't beat around the bush, right to it. I love that. So when you do come across people who profess to be a Christian, that 3 minutes to live scenario is wonderful. As they begin to think about something to say, Ray ends up saying, well, now I got 2.5 minutes left, or 2 minutes left. What are you going to do? And it forces the believer, and they might be a believer, to really think through their position on how to engage with a non-believer. What is it that we believe, and why is it that we believe what we believe? So,
And, this is one of the times when Ray is often criticized for teaching a script. Because if you watch, I don't know, how many Living Waters University videos do we have now, Mark?
Oh, probably more than 100.
More than 100,
yeah,
okay.
Absolutely.
So if you've watched all of them, you've heard Ray say much the same thing 100
test.
Yeah, 100 times. But that doesn't mean it's a script. See, what Ray is sharing, while it's not new to him, or maybe new to you, the viewer, it's new to the person he's talking to.
Right, absolutely.
They've never heard it before.
Never thought of this stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right. Okay, hey, we want to spend the last few minutes answering a question about the Muslim God. Is the Muslim God Allah the God of the Bible? I've heard it said by many Christians that the Muslim religion has similarities with Christianity. Many Christians? In that they know who God is, the God of Moses and Abraham and Isaac, etc. I don't know if that's right or not. I would say they don't worship the same God. What would you say? They don't worship the same God.
I would say that. I think, whether it's Islam or Mormonism or any religion that, claims to have the God of the Bible, I think the easiest thing to do is just to see what it is that they believe and what does the Bible say, and do they match up? Like, for instance, with Islam, Muslims believe that God did not or could not have a son, and they definitely believe that Jesus Christ did not die on a cross, and that wasn't God's Son. And so just based on that alone, it's pretty clear that the God that the Muslims believe in is not the God of the Bible. You know, with Mormonism, Mormons believe that there are many gods. Basically, you can become a god someday, and yet Isaiah 44:6, God says that I am the only God. There's none other gods besides me. So it's really easy in all these different scenarios when different religions claim that they have the same God of the Bible. And actually in society, even people, atheists, people who don't even care about God, they'll say, oh, all your different religions, they all believe in the same God, you know? Well, it's a common thing that we hear nowadays, right? And so it's pretty easy for you just to look at the Bible, look at what these different groups say, and just show, no, it's not the same thing.
Now, I think it's important to qualify that followers of Jesus Christ in these Arab and Middle East countries do use the word Allah to describe, as a name for the one true God.
Yeah, it just means God.
It means God.
Right.
But when you're talking about the false religion of Islam, the Allah that they worship does not exist. It's a figment of the imagination of Muhammad on the boxoflivingwaters.com. And
right. I mean, I've been in
and there's a lie of demons on the boxoflivingwaters.com.
I've been in Arabic countries where the Christians I was talking to used the word Allah when they were talking about God, and yet these Christians follow the Bible and they definitely are against Islam. The word Allah in these areas it just means God, you know, in that situation. But yeah, the God of the Muslims, what they believe in, is a totally different thing than what the Bible teaches, who the Bible teaches God is.
Yeah, Mark?
You know, it's interesting. In preparation for this question, I had typed it in Google, and I came across an interesting article written on April 15th of 2011, an article written inside Christianity Today, the magazine. And they are advertising a book under the title, Do Muslims and Christians Worship the Same God? And the answer is yes.
What?
They worship the same God. And I was really surprised.
Christianity.com?
Yeah. Christianity Today.
Them too?
The magazine.
The magazine, Christianity Today. So I was really surprised to see that. And the book that they had put on there, it seems to me that the guy is a Muslim. His name is Miroslav Volf. Allah, a Christian Response. I was rather surprised when I read through it, when I looked through it, but no, I mean, the answer is really simple. You know, Muslims and Christians do not worship the same God. They deny the Trinity. That is the underlining pinning to Christianity. They deny Jesus having any form of a deity whatsoever. So we serve two different gods. It's not hard to come to that conclusion with any precursor perusing of the Word of God. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. But, you know, I think they get it right in a lot of areas. I think they're very wrong in this area, and they should not have been advertising that book.
Wow. So. And if you're a Christian out there and you believe that you are saved and at the same time believe that the Christian God and the Muslim God are one and the same, when, as has already been pointed out, they deny the resurrection, then you are lost.
Wasn't there just a
you were lost.
church that did an Easter service in a mosque or something like that?
Some whack job up around San Francisco held Easter service in a mosque declaring that Jesus didn't actually rise from the dead. Paul would disagree with you.
And that was an Easter service?
It was an Easter service.
Huh.
Yeah.
It's like the anti-Easter.
1 Corinthians 15, beginning in, yes, the anti-Easter. The anti-Easter led by an antichrist.
Yes.
Yeah. Not the Antichrist, a Antichrist. John makes it clear that there will be many Antichrists, and that alleged pastor up north is just one of them, along with anyone who actually believes Christians and Muslims worship the same God on the boxoflivingwaters.com. 1 Corinthians 15, beginning in verse 12. Now, if Christ is proclaimed as raised from the dead, how can some of you say that there is no resurrection of the dead? But if there is no resurrection of the dead, then not even Christ has been raised. And if Christ has not been raised, then our preaching is in vain and your faith is in vain. We are even found to be misrepresenting God because we testified about God that he raised Christ, whom he did not raise, if it is true that the dead are not raised. For if the dead are not raised, not even Christ has been raised. And if Christ has not been raised, your faith is futile and you are still in your sins. then those also who have fallen asleep in Christ have perished. If in Christ we have hope in this life only, we are of all people most to be pitied. The Muslims deny the deity of Christ. They deny the resurrection of Jesus Christ. Christians do not. There is no common ground spiritually between Muslims and Christians.
Right.
And until tomorrow, be encouraged, strengthened, and unafraid. Proclaim the gospel to Muslims and everybody else.
You're full of it! Living Waters presents On the Box.